So, hello everyone, this is Akshay here, and welcome to our GFG POTD streak of day 97. So, we are almost closing into day 100. So, if you are new to this channel, please like, share, and subscribe so that we can learn, grow, and maintain our streak together. So, let's start the question of today. So, today's question name is case specific sorting of strings. So, let's read the question first. It's a medium category question with a massive number of submission with the points for. So, given a string S consisting of only uppercase and lowercase characters, the task is to sort uppercase and lowercase letters separately such that if the ith place in the original string had an uppercase, then it should have a lowercase character after being sorted and vice versa. Then it should not have a lowercase character. Okay, got it. So, this question seems to be a very easy category question. I don't know why they have put in the medium category. So let's dry run it, and we will see for ourselves that what we have to do in this question. So if we see, let me dry run it for you. So what they have done here is, um, they have sorted the thing, I guess, del, okay, and sort from the given string with the same number of cases. Okay, so where they are the lower case characters. So let's say our string is D E F R E S E R S U X and I. So this, and this, and this, and this are the uppercase characters. So if we remove the uppercase and lowercase characters from this, then can I say? Then for the lowercase, I can say is the characters are D E F and E R S. I can say for that. And if I remove the uppercase characters, it will be R T S U X I. And if I sort it individually, then what can I say? That D E E F R and S, this will be sorted, right? If I sort it individually. And what will be in this case? So it will be I R T S U X, right? And I need to put the characters where there is the uppercase, it should be the uppercase characters, but in the sorted form. So let's just put it. So the lowercase are D, E, F, R, S, right? So this is the place of lowercase, and again lowercase. We will skip the uppercase characters, and we have this thing as F, R, and S, right? Now we will see. Now we will put the uppercase characters in the remaining string, that it was I, R, T, and then S. Okay, P, Q, R, S, T. So my bad, I did the sorting incorrectly. So it will be I, R, S, T, U, X, right? So it will be I, R, S, right? And T, U, and X. And if you see that this is our output, D double E I, capital I, R S, capital R S, small f R S, and capital T U X. Okay, so from the dry run we just did, we have the code here itself. What I need to do is to make two separate array, step 1 and step 2. And what we will count the number of, let's say, LC, and you will count the number of upper characters while using a for loop, right? So we'll count it, and then we will make, so this will be a step 1 and this will be a step 2 of making the lowercase and the uppercase characters. Step 3 will be to sort the individual arrays, sort it. Step 4 will be to iterate again in this original string, and see that if the characters are lowercase, then pick the characters from the lower sorted array, and if the current character is of the uppercase, then pick the character from the upper sorted array, right? So it is nothing but some sorting, and we will need some 2 pointers, so we can do that thing, right? So let's code this step 1 and step 2, like tell you that count the lowercase characters, the uppercase characters, make an array, and put the elements in the array, and then sort it. So let's do that thing first. So this was a very easy question, guys. Like, I do not find anything that was hidden in this test case, or we to try run it for to understand. So let's code it. So I need to iterate, and I need to see that which are all the characters. So I less than n, I plus plus. And what is n? N is here is str dot let me remove this line here. str.length, right? So I iterated, and I will check if my character is lowercase or uppercase. So I will store my current character in character, or let's say I like to use the wrapper classes. Instead, we use the primitive data types because primitive data types are much faster than the wrapper classes. So I will use char ch, and I will store the current character. So str.char@. I'm doing like this. You can also make an character array of this particular string, and then you can iterate. So my preferable way is this time I do not make the character array, I just iterate it. So I stored the current character, and I will see that if my this current character is uppercase or lowercase. And for that thing, we have inbuilt function in Java, character dot is upper uppercase. And in case you don't remember this thing in an online examination, let's say, then you can always rely on this ASCII value, right? So if I'm not wrong, it is 65 where the lowercase character starts. So it will be, if the characters lie in the range of 65 to 65 plus 26, then you can check that it is a lowercase. But in our case, we are just using the inbuilt function to check it. So I will be making a count of upper character count, that is as UC, and else I will plus the lower count character as LC. So let's make it also. Let's declare it also. Initially, the LC will be 0 and UC will also be 0. So there goes our step 1. Step 2 will be to make an individual array, right? So as I said again, not recommended to use wrapper classes unnecessarily if you have the if your work can be done using this primitive data, that is char, because it's much faster. It is much faster to do it, much faster do the larger calculations. So here I will, let's say, lower is new. Here I will pass the length, and I will say lower upper. I'll make one other array that is upper, and I will say new char UC, right? So we have made an array. So let's input the elements in it. So for inputting the elements, let's make a pointer. So int I pointer will be for lower array, int j pointer will be for upper array, and int k to iterate in our for loop. So I will say for k equals to 0 to k less than n, k plus plus, right? And I will again check that if our current character is uppercase or lowercase, and then we will finally substitute that character in our lower array or upper array. So if it is uppercase, so I need to move this character into our upper array, right? So I will say upper, and I will use the pointer j plus plus. So j plus plus is equals to character. Why I'm doing j plus plus? Because when we substitute move one character in the index 0, then for the another character it should be 1, right? So this is nothing but the post increment I'm doing at the same time. Or else lower of I plus plus is equals to ch. So now we have, so for this particular test case, we have in lower as def def ers, we have this, and in upper we have the characters as, okay, the spelling is wrong. So in the upper we have the characters as what? The capital I, capital R, capital S. Okay, no, it is unsorted, right? So RTS and then UX capital I. So this is the thing, but we need to sort it, right? So here goes our step 3, and what I will do, that I will call arrays dot sort lower, and arrays dot sort upper. So here I want to give you one additional information. So you may argue with me that Bhaiya, why are you choosing arrays? Because if you're choosing array, then you need to make an extra for loop to maintain the count, and then you are specifying the count here at line number 29 and 30. So you may argue that why you're not using the array list, right? It's a dynamic array. You don't need to then maintain the count. You can just put the characters in that array and you can do the task. But as I said in the beginning, that it is always recommended to use the primitive data types if your work can be done in the same time complexity, right? So this n is running as parallel loop. It's not increasing the time complexity, right? So that is the reason I have used arrays, and I mentioned one extra for loop. So I tried using the array list also, but in that case you will get time complexity error, TLE. Although you are using NlogN, but still you will get it because it's just a matter of which data type you use. Okay, so we sorted it, and step 4 will be that we iterate in our original array and we just now manipulate the strings, manipulate the characters. And how is that? That if DEF, right? So I can say that if I iterate in my original string, I will say that the first character is what? The lower character, right? So I will visit our lower sorted array and I will put my first character here to here, right? Then second is also lower, then I will put this second lower character into a answer. So this was actually the lower array. The sorted array is this one, right? So I will put D here, then I will put E here, and then again I will put E here, right? And now as you can see that the fourth character is now capital uppercase, right? So I will go in my upper sorted array and I will maintain a pointer and I will put the first character here, then the second character in the upper character and the third character. Similarly, it goes like this. Now again the lower character comes, so we have already used the three characters in the lower sorted, so we will use now the remaining one, that is FRS, and similarly it will go on, right? So let's code this thing. So I need a for loop to iterate, so I will use again my k pointer for k less than n, k plus plus. Also, I need pointer to iterate in my lower and upper characters, so I will again reset it to 0. Let's say I equals to j equals to 0, right? I reset it and I will again check if my character is lowercase or uppercase, right? So if it is uppercase, then what I need to do, I need to take my answer from the upper sorted array, and I need, for that thing I need to make an answer. And since the return type is string, then it's always recommended to use a string builder answer, string builder and not empty string, because I have said this thing multiple times that if you use string builder, then the time complexity to append a character will be O of 1, whereas in empty string to append a character it is O of n. So never forget this thing. It is a very good interview question also. What's the difference between empty string and string builder? Okay, so we are at this point, and okay, so if it is upper, we need to take from answer dot append from the upper sorted array. So I will say upper of let's say we take the pointer as j plus plus, and if it's not the case, then we take the answer from the lower sorted array. So I will say append lower of I plus plus. So I think that's good to go. And at the last, we just have to return this answer string. So since it's string builder, so I need to call a function that convert into two string, then return it. So I think we are good to go now. Just mention the return keyword. Yes, I think we are good to go. Let's compile and run to see that our code and this input and output test case are on the same page. So there is index out of bounds. So I can see that error in line 49 that I have used index k, but I am passing as I in line 33 also. Elsewhere it's good. So let's compile and run again. So great, our input and your output and expected output matches. So let's just hit the submit button. And before hitting the submit button, what would be our time complexity? So before going to that thing, let us see what the constraint is. And for as I remember, the constraint was 10 power 5. So if the constraint is 10 power 5, the maximum time complexity you can use is, according to our chart, is n root n, right? So if you don't know this thing, that how I'm saying that n root n, I have made a video on time complexity. It must be flashing up now. You must see that video to know the power of constraint, right? So it is n root n. It is the maximum thing, but you can use all the below one. That is, you can use n log n, and you can go even below. That is n. If and all, you can get a solution in this time complexities. So we have used here what? We have used one for loop, that is O of n, another for loop O of n, and two sorting thing, and then again a string, another third for loop. So it is like three for loop, that is 3n, and we are using two times sorting, that is 2n. So that is 2n log n, right? So if we ignore the constants, then it will be O of n log n. And space complexity, since we have used two array index, so two array to store the sorted and the lower and uppercase, so it will be O of n, right? So n log n, clearly you can see that it will pass the test cases for 10 power 5. So let's just hit the submit button now. So great, it got submitted, and as you can see, that number of attempts I have used 5 years. So initially, what I was saying that you will get NTLE if you use, if you not use the array, that is the primitive data type, and if you use the array list, then you have to pass the non-primitive, that is the wrapper classes, these full characters CHARA and you'll get TLE. So two things that you must remember using this question. Question was very easy, like it was damn easy, but two additional information I need to pass on is one is to always recommended to use primitive data types as and all where you are getting the opportunity, right? If that's not the case, then you need to go. Suppose you're declaring an array, then you can always use character, or let's say new is equals to, or no, let's give it a name and new char. But if you use an array list, then you have to declare the wrapper classes here, right? The full character. So that is why if you use the character in this question, you will surely get NTLE, right? Because this is much faster than the wrapper classes. Second point is about the string builder, that appending a character in string builder, it takes of O of 1, and in empty string appending a character, it takes O of n, right? So if you have used the empty string also, then also you would have then also you would have got a TLE there. So that is it for today's video. Few last thing, that's my DSA repository. You must and forget with the source code. And if you are new to my channel, if you like my content, the way of teaching, and then you must subscribe our channel so that we can learn and grow together. And that's my Instagram channel, and you can connect to me here as well as on LinkedIn to have, if you have any doubts or guidance, if you may have. So that's it. Let's meet in the tomorrow's POTD streak of day 98. Let's hope you guys were with me till day one and we have maintained our streak. So till then, bye bye. Take care. Keep growing and keep studying. Bye bye.